Namaste and good morning. Oh, I see my friends are online, devotees who are very ardent, wanting to move closer to God. Well, this morning is a beautiful morning because the rain has fallen and it's continued to fall, drizzling, and the sun is covered by the clouds. But anyway, we have to take the rain because it's necessary for our sustenance, water, right? So this morning, let us pay adorations to Surya Narayan. We know he's there, and let us chant. Chant with me, please. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Okay, and that's so beautiful. Now we are energized and we're ready for the day. I like to pay adorations to Guru in this simple Bengali bhajan, and what it's saying that my sadhana is to repeat the name of the Guru, to think about a Guru, and let me not forget, never forget to go to the feet of the Guru, because of the Guru will take me onto that place where I need to go, to become one with Him, to be like Him, to go back to consciousness. And the prayer is this morning, oh Gurudev, I'll be coming at your feet. Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, Karo Sadhana, Jena Bete Papo Haro, Guchi Bhavo Jato Nam, Karo Sadhanam. Guru Nam Sar Karo, Guru Ballabhadane, Guru Rupo Dhyan Karo, Shanti Pabe Jivone, Bhule Bhulo Na Jano, Sri Guru Sri Charane, Je Charane Koti Chanda, Bhiro Jito Jato Nam. Om Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, Karo Sadhana, Durlabho Janmo Pe Kiva Karya Koje Cho, Janmo Hole Mrityu Ache, Taru Paye Bebe Cho, Ananda Moe Bhule, Nirananda Roe Cho, Dinta Kite Dako Tale, Naile Samay Pabonam. Om Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, Karo Sadhana. Om Guru Nam Karo Sadhana, Karo Sadhana. Oh, just singing that, it puts me in that state of that relationship with God, manifestation, and manifesting as Guru. Well, let us chant this Bhagavad Gita sloka and then we'll see what it says. Tapas vibhyodiko yogi, jnani vyopi matodika, karme vyashchadiko yogi, tasmad yogi bhavarjana. Let's do it again. Tapas vibhyodiko yogi, jnani vyopi matodika, karme vyashchadiko yogi, Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. And here Krishna one is telling Arjuna, better than doing all the austerities is to be a yogi. Better than having all the knowledge of the scriptures, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Bhagavad Gita, all our scripture, the Ramayana, is to become a yogi. And better than all of that is when you go to the rituals. Better than the rituals is to become a yogi. So the question is, who's a yogi? A yogi is one who is in direct relationship, or he's seeking to be in direct relationship with God, with consciousness, with the Guru. And this morning we'll try to explain that, but let us chant the Gita Dhyanam. Om Partaya Pratibhuditam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Manusantatan Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Namo Astate Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Polala Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purna Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Tutra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraye Krishnaya Gitam Ritam Duhe Nama Sarvopanashido Gavo Dugda Gopala Nandana Partha Vatsa Sudhir Bhukta Dugdam Gitam Ritam Mahat Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Maradhanam Devaki Paranam Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalya Gravati Kripena Bahuni Karanena Bela Kula Aswatama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Kalu Pandavaira Nanadi Kaivartakaha Keshava Parashaya Vachasaroja Mamalam Gitata Gandat Katam Nana Kyana Kakesharam Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Satprathaira Haraha Pepiyamana Mudha Bhuyata Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradam Vasina Sreyasi Mukhaṁ Karoti Vachalam Pangong Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rutra Marta Stunivanti Divyastavai Vedaya Sangha Parakramopanishadai Gayanti Yang Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yang Yogino Yashyantam Navido Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namo Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namo Namaha. Bolo Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan Ki Jai. We have our friend here. His mother and father and his other brothers and sisters, I think they've flown away and they've left him behind. Look at him. He has adopted, like a week has gone by and he's by himself and he's adopted, making the best of the situation. It just goes to show that we can learn from the animals, the birds, that we have all that assets in us, self-confidence, self-reliance, and self-respect. When we have these things in us, we don't have to go look outside. Because looking outside is when we go getting trouble. It's good to go and socialize, but look at this, COVID now and lack of socializing. We're adapting, aren't we? We're making changes, we're going inside. Oh, I always wanted to think that people should stop in their busy lives and to go inside. But God facilitates everything and we should accept whatever is happening. That is the workings of the consciousness, the Almighty. Well, we were talking about Agita Sukha again. Tapas vibhyodiko yogi, jnani vyopi matodika, karma vyaschadiko yogi, tasmad yogi bhavarjana. Your ascetic is the one who is recasting the mold of his personality. That he, by doing so many things, fasting, and fasting I mean going without food and water. Fasting doesn't mean, well, you don't eat meat and you don't eat salt. No, it doesn't mean like that. But any effort to do fasting is acceptable. But the Swami Parameshananda ji would have done fasting for 21 days, no food, no water. And then he would have done it for 7 days and like that. But you know, he was God manifestation incarnated. He was God really, Lord Shiva. Anyway, let's go back to this asceticism. One of the things that Bharat SEVASHRAM facilitates is to go into place of pilgrimage. Like if you go into Banaras, we have so much rooms available for pilgrims coming from all parts of the world and all parts of India, and they go there and stay in the ashram. And for a nominal fee they will pay just to maintain the ashram, and they get a room, and then for a small amount, like 50 rupees, you could have a meal. Why? Because Swami Parameshananda thinks that this austerity is part of our Hindu tradition. It's a stepping stone to go towards a yogi and pilgrimage to other parts of the world, and where temples are there, especially in India, Himalayas, we have ashrams in Delhi to facilitate that going, Mathura, Vrindavan, Haridwar. So this is there. They're simple places. Foreigners will not be able to stay there comfortable because, you know, they're simple places that local people of India can go there. Anyway, so we talk about this austerity. An ascetic does that. And we have sadhus in the caves, they're doing their austerity. And this asceticism is stabilizing the country, India, like India and any part of the world. So it is necessary. Then tapas vibyodiko yigo jnani byopi matodika. Jnana, knowledge. There's the others who choose the path of enlightenment through knowledge. Knowledge is a purifier. But at some point in time, that knowledge has to be internalized. And then you become the knowledge, whatever you read in the scriptures. Because if you do an adept of the scriptures and you read, you memorize it, verbatim, word by word, and it's in your memory, but you didn't internalize it, there's no benefit to be got. And I can remember when I was learning Sanskrit in Kolkata, I had one professor from Calcutta University, and he will come and teach me. And in the beginning, when he came, he will be so much, I feel like touching his feet because he was so knowledgeable. But after 1 week, the second week, after the lesson, he broke down, he was crying. So, Professor Ji, what happened? Swamiji, I'm making a mistake in my life. I'm having an affair, meaning that, you know, I'm having a relationship outside of my marriage. And he was crying. So I said, can you give it up? And then he says, no, it has become a habit, and the pleasure that you get out of it is hard to give up. But I said, Professor G, this is going to ruin you. Because we know 80% of our sufferings is coming from that male-female illicit relationship. Yesterday I was talking, a student cannot be in those boy-girl relationship. A marriage, you can't go out and have relationship beyond the wife for that purpose, for enjoyment of that pleasure. Because that will be your ruin, not for yourself, but all the loved ones around you. So this is something we have to be careful. And then when the childbearing years are over, you give that all up. And what happens? You go into places of pilgrimage. And this is the austerity I was talking about. So knowledge in itself, knowing the Vedas, it's not enough. You might be adept. And then, tapas vibhyog diko yogi, jnani byopi matodika, karmi vyascha diko yogi, tasmad yogi bhavarjana. That the last one is the ritualistic side that Krishna Bhagavan is telling. Arjuna, listen, you go to all these deities, my ministers, as you might say, Lakshmi Ma for wealth, and Ganesh Ji for clearance of your path so you don't have obstacles to disturb you. But when it comes down to it, all comes to me. I have to sanction this kind of blessings that you're asking for. So the ritualistic and the karmakand is telling how to be happy in this life and wanting to go to that place of where you have to return. I mean, you might be go to a place where in the heavens, as you may want to call it, but in Hinduism we don't have the heavens, but we have to go in this different locus. But you have to come back when your good merits are being exhausted. So this rituals it's the part of our religion, and it's become so much commercialized that it's become a business. So here Krishna Bhagavan is telling us, no, go beyond these rituals. Don't be asking for things to make you comfortable in this life. As a Swamiji, I understand this because Swami Parameshananda will always take me out of the comfort zone when he feels that I'm getting too comfortable. Because why? He wants us to go directly to liberation. And so this morning the question is, how do you become a yogi? Well, here in this mandir, we're looking at the five murtis: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And we are in a mandir that has no wall and ceiling. And we know that these five elements are in us. So we worship them in our rituals. Isn't that so? When we go to the temple, we got a kalsa with water, and the air is there, and the space in the kalsa, like for instance. Now, this here, this morning we're not doing any kind of worship because we realize that this five elements is in us. So the best murti to worship is this murti, your murti. You worship your murti. You treat it like better than the murti in the temple. You watch what you eat, and then you know this murti has the life in it. When we die, that the body falls off. It's not that the life leaves. The body falls off like a leaf would fall off of a tree. And we are all part of that tree and leaves of this tree of creation. So we fall off because consciousness is all pervading, omnipresent, all omnipotent, all powerful, omniscient, knowing the past and present and future. So this is what Krishna Bhagavan was telling Arjuna. You come to me directly, and this morning is a typical example. Let's elevate ourselves to this kind of this is not a ritual that we're doing here this morning. This is a sacrifice because you've come and you want to listen. There's something you know that Adi Shankara was saying, Kashtvam koha kutta ayata kame janani ko me tatta iti parivayo sarvamasaram vishwam tvaktva swapna vicharam bhaj govindam bhaj govindam bhaj govindam muramate prapti sanne hite marane nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karane. Hey, this Adi Shankar was saying, ask the question where you came from. Who is your father? What are you here for? Contemplate on this. Birth after birth, you want to go back and forth, back and forth? No, you have to answer the question right now. And this morning, we want to ask that question, and Krishna Bhagavan is giving this answer. Let us not waste time. Yes, we have to read the books. Yes, we have to go to places of pilgrimage. Swami Parameshananda was very thorough with that. And he encouraged all his monk disciples and you, the devotees, to read the scriptures, but at least for 2 hours a day, or if not so much, you do meditation, because that direct knowledge will come to you. We don't want the knowledge from the books. Yes, we have to know it, but when we do the meditation, through the grace of the Guru, that Swami Parameshananda, and like we will do the great. Look what the Buddha did. He was enjoying life, but he did that meditation in the end. 7 days and 7 nights he was under the Bodhi tree in Gaya, and our ashram is there to facilitate pilgrims going there. Gaya ashram, so many rooms, and also Gaya also is a place of pilgrimage when you want to do the Pitri Puja. It's the premier place for Pitri Puja for all Hindus all over the world, because Mother Sita would have done it for King Bharat. And then because whenever we have fathers and mothers love, they become like your father and your mother. So she accepted that. So this morning, what a beautiful thing. So the lesson is, my devotees, that hear you in this mandir, and do all the necessary things, but try not to think that this world, this Mother Earth is our home. It's just our passing through. It is a facilitator for us to go into that place of consciousness, to return to where we came from. Isn't that what it's all about? Why do we want to suffer continuously? So let us do some chanting of Guru Mantra. Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namaha. Assume a nice position. Look at the rain. Isn't that so enticing for meditation? Oh, let us do a little meditation. And if you don't have a mantra, let us chant. Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namaha. 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 I want you to make one promise this morning. Just one transition, one way of relieving you of all your suffering and all the loved ones around you. Never at no point in time that you should go beyond, if you're a student, to give up that relationship to that boyfriend, girlfriend situation, so that you could have focus. All your mind will be towards your studies, because in these times where it is so much studies from the computer, online, we need that concentration. We cannot be on the phone doing other things. And then in the marriage, try to be just with the wife or the husband, because if you try to go out, then you'll be suffering this lifetime and many lifetimes to come. Make that change. And when the childbearing years are over, go to the places of pilgrimage, do meditation, read the scriptures. And when you come into sannyas, you will be ready to detach. And when you're through and at that sannyas state, what will happen? You will become a yogi. You will be having direct transmission of knowledge to you. And that, how beautiful if we can do that. But human effort has to be brave. And when you make that human effort, God will give you His grace. So take some time and look at this Lord Shiva fountain, I call it the fountain, and continue meditations for 2 minutes. We have the time, don't we? So let's sit in meditative position, close their eyes, and chant the mantra. Stay with me for a little while in quietness. Embrace silence. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Continue meditation, don't give it up. But we'll leave you now and have a beautiful day. Your prayer should be, oh Lord, oh Gurudev, I want to be like you. Help me to rediscover that I'm consciousness. Give me the power and the wisdom to worship this murti of mine and to treat it like better than the murti in the temples. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Bolo Sisi Guru Maharaj ki jai. Bolo Sisi Krishna Chandra Bhagwan Ki Jai. Adorations to Krishna, the Christ and the Buddha and all the gurus that you may have. You choose your guru, but let it be a bona fide guru, a spiritual master, a realized soul. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om.